In this video, I'm going to show how to monitor and track keywords after you've started an SEO campaign. So keyword tracking is still very important. It's not the main metric and the main thing you want to track to determine if your SEO is working, but it is an indicator and it is something you're going to want to keep tabs on. So we're going to walk through both free and paid tools to help you monitor and track keywords and how you're progressing. So I'm going to start out with the free options. So setting up Google Search Console is probably the quickest and easiest way to get keyword data. So when you set up your Search Console account, you'll see performance and then search results here on the left. This is going to take you to a report that shows all of the queries that you're ranking for on Google. And it even gives you how many clicks, impressions, or how often you're showing up in the search results. Click-through rate will be the percentage of people that see your listing versus click on it. And then position will be where you actually rank on Google. So anything less than 10 means you're on page 1. So this is a really good way to just track and monitor keyword progress. Because not only can you track rankings, but you could actually track clicks, which is ultimately what matters. Rankings without clicks really mean nothing. And even click-through rate. One of my favorite ways to use the click-through rate data is to determine if your title tag and meta description, which is the copy that shows up on search results, if that is optimized and as dialed in as it could be. If this number is declining for click-through rate, that's a good sign you may need to refresh those tags. So you can get a lot of data in here that you don't get from just a keyword tracking tool that only tracks rankings. So again, all of these keywords are in here. You don't configure anything. So with some of the paid keyword research and keyword monitoring tools, you actually input the keywords you want to keep tabs on and the keywords you want to track. And this type of tool, Google is just providing you the real data of what people are actually searching, and that's leading them to your website. So you can get all these different keywords here. Now, you can export out of this into a Google Sheet. You could even connect this to a tool like Looker Studio, which is this tool here that allows you to visualize the data. So the nice thing about this is you can make a custom keyword monitoring and tracking report without any paid subscriptions or any paid tools. Now, there's some advantages to paid tools, and we'll get to those in a second, but this is just a really good way to quickly get different keyword reporting and keyword tracking. So what we're doing here is we're counting the number of keywords that we're ranking for in the top 3 positions, and then we're tracking 4 to 10. Then we're tracking page 2, page 3, and page 4 plus. And then what you can do is you can compare the last 30 days to the prior 30 days. You could even extend this to do like a 90-day versus 90-day. Sometimes 30 days versus 30 is a little too short of a timeline. But right away, I can see I have more top 3 keywords the last 30 days than I did the prior 30 days. So I had about 329. Now we're up to about 362. Position 4 to 10 is even. My page 2 keywords have gone up, and then my page 3 keywords have gone up as well. So this is tracking volume of keywords, the number of keywords you're ranking for. Then we pull in a snapshot of just kind of those main metrics. I really like this one. So this is a custom report you can make using Google Search Console, where again, you can get all your keywords, same exact data that shows up here. But the benefit of this reporting and monitoring solution is you can trend out position, clicks, impressions, and CTR over time. If you look in Search Console here, this visual is not the best. It's a daily breakdown, so a lot of times it's hard to know what's happening. When you zoom out and use this view, it's really clear what's happening. So my clicks are trending down significantly. So that's a good sign that I need to do something, but my impressions are going up. You can see my average positions also declining, which makes sense. So I'm still showing up the same amount of times. I'm just getting way less clicks because my rankings are dropping. My click-through rate is also declining. So this is a sign I really need to dig into this and figure out what to do. What you can do as well, what really makes this tool powerful, is being able to click on any keyword. So let's do this one, how to start a shipping business. And all these reports will now filter to this one keyword. So I could see exactly how I'm trending with my rankings. So I actually saw really good growth from April to November. I went from position 9 all the way up to page 2 at position 2 at the top of page 1. Since then, I've been declining. So prior to November, I was seeing really good growth, and you can see my clicks. As my rankings went up, my clicks went up as well. Now, as my rankings are declining, so are my clicks. So if this keyword was important to my business, I'd want to dig into this and figure out how to reverse it. So a really good way to automatically have tracking for every keyword. If I click mailbox rental business, again, I had really good growth from April to September. Then I kind of maintained all the way up until recently, where now I'm declining. So my clicks are starting to go way down for this keyword. Now this could be a good sign I need to refresh this content, because this content was published probably back around April 2024 when this data started. So the nice thing about this tool is you don't have to input these keywords. It automatically tracks, and you can click on any single keyword and see your trends. So it's one of my favorite ways to monitor progress for specific keywords. And this is a free template I have on my newsletter. So if you want a copy of this, just either comment below on the video, or I'll put a link to sign up for the newsletter. And once you go into the newsletter, you could just download this for free and make a copy of it and just use it for yourself. Now, there's one more tool I want to get into. This is one of my favorite tools that's free to spot check keywords. This is really good for local specific keywords. So if I have a storage facility and I want to see my rankings for storage unit near me, if I type this keyword in, I'm only going to get results near me that are in my area out here in White Plains. If I want to see how a client is performing, I need a tool like this to be able to change my location. So now what I can do is I can say Navasota, Texas, and then click search Google. And now I'm getting results just for Navasota, Texas. So I could actually even see Google ads for this area, which when we look here, these Google ads are going to be local to me. So this is a great way to monitor local specific keywords and more do a spot check. If you want to spot check specific keywords, I could see the map results, and then I could see the organic results here. So right now, the number 1 and number 2 result are directories. Looks like we are the number 1 ranking facility in this area. We actually have 2 listings, it looks like, on the first page. And then we can see some competitors here as well. But if you're connected to Google Search Console, you can get some additional data there. But yeah, really great way of spot checking local keywords. Again, I could put in any location, any type of keyword, and I can filter it and just quickly check it. So if you need to do something quickly and check a keyword ranking or just search result, this is a great way to do it, especially if you're working with clients in different locations. You can pretty much do this live on a call with them or in a video and change your location and actually see the search results similar to how someone in this area would see them. So really good way to do it. And one of my favorite ways is just quickly spot checking. I rarely just go right to Google anymore and check a keyword. I'm pretty much always using this and changing my location to get a little bit more precision on the results. So now we'll get into paid tools. So really for paid tools, you have 3 main tools. There's going to be SE ranking, Ahrefs, and SEMrush. There's some similarities, there's some differences, but the main thing with these tools is they all have a system for you to be able to track your keyword rankings. Now, the similarity of these 3 tools is you input the keywords that you want to track and monitor. In a tool like Search Console, it just automatically pulls whatever keywords you're showing up for. It doesn't actually, you can't actually select the keywords you want to track. All 3 of these tools do offer an option where it could do something similar to Search Console, where it'll, if you use like some of the domain research tools, you can input a website and it'll tell you all the keywords that website ranks for. But what most people are going to be doing when they're tracking keywords and monitoring, they're going to input the keywords they want to track. So inside the ranking tool here, you can click add keyword. And then this is where you can add all the different keywords you want to track. You can group them into categories if there's certain topics or different ways you want to track them. And you can add the search engine here. Now, this can be really helpful, the suggest keywords, because if you're not really sure, this will start to pull in keywords that your website is already showing up for. And again, you could change the domain here and get a list, and all you need to do is click on these and you could add them to your tracking. Now, once you start tracking and monitoring keywords, you'll get some reporting and visualizations right here. So I really like these ones. It shows the number of keywords that are in position 1, 2 to 3, all the different spots on the first page and how I'm trending. So I've gotten a few additional ones on the bottom of page 1. This is a quick way to see volume of keywords at each position on Google. You can see some trend reports where you have different options to change the timelines. And see the visuals there. I really like some of this here. If we scroll down, so top pages, competitor reporting, there's a lot of data here beyond just monitoring keywords. You could actually see competitor data. This one here is where I can see all the keywords I'm tracking. And again, this will update automatically. So that's the nice thing about these tools is they're going to update automatically and you can log in at any point and then see how you're trending. So right here, you can see, I can see a snapshot of all the different days my rankings were checked for all these different keywords and where I'm standing currently and where I'm ranking currently. What I really like about this as well is it gives us a little bit of data too, where it gives us monthly search volume, where a tool like Search Console doesn't have that. The closest thing you get is impressions, but monthly search volume is an average of how often people search for that keyword. The SERP features is really nice to be able to quickly see what additional features are on the first page of Google. It's very rare now that it's just 10 links. A lot of times like this, you'll see videos are there. So if we spot check this keyword here, it looks like there's an AI overview, there's videos on the search results. So it's nice to have this data here. And again, here's the AI overview. We have ads, here's my website ranking, and then we have the video results that the tool was picking up. So a good sign that if you create video, you can create a video and try to rank in this. And that's it for features. But you'll see knowing all these other features are nice because there's more than one way to get to the first page now. It's not just standard SEO that we think of having a page on your website. You can actually have a video, you could have different sources of, or different types of content and still get to the first page. So that tool is very helpful for identifying that. Content score is really nice. It'll actually grade your content that you have and how it's doing. So a really good way to understand. And if we click into this a little bit further, you can see here's my page. It's giving an analysis. Here's the average competitor. So I'm right underneath the number one competitor has an 82. I'm at an 81. So I'm on the higher end. If my number was low here, that could be a good indicator. I just need to improve the content and I might improve my rankings. So it's nice to have some of this extra data available. Now, the other thing I like to do with this is potentially look at these insights here. So it's automatically going to give some recommendations. So in this case, I might be competing with myself and they've identified 2 keywords. This is interesting here. Let's click through. The nice thing about these, you can click on any of them and the report's going to open in a new tab. Another interesting thing. So new competitors have jumped in. Let's look at the keyword cannibalization report here and we could take a look. So these two pages are similar. The keywords do overlap on these. So these two are potentially competing with each other. So I may want to consolidate those into one post. If we look at this one, we can start to see the keyword and page combos here that have had some changes. If I go back and I could start to see some more reporting here. So yeah, here's the keyword cannibalization that we looked at. There's another insight here, keywords with impressions or clicks that have increased. So you can see here big increases in impressions, although I don't have much clicks, so I might want to dig into these because they are highly searched. So getting these extra insights are kind of nice just to quickly start coming up with ideas of what you can actually do. Now in Ahrefs, when I go to the rank tracker, we'll see it's a very similar process of adding keywords. And then after you choose the keywords you want to track, you get all of this data here. So like, again, I could see my ranking, I could see the change. We get some intent scores, search volume, difficulty, parent topic so you'll see like, okay, if I'm ranking for this, I probably can also rank for this one, the exact page. I'm always a big fan of looking at the actual SERP and seeing who is actually ranking. So this is where I can see what the top 10 actually looks like. So a lot of things you can do here, and you could even look at month over month change and visualize what's dropping and what's rising in the search results. So WordStream has had probably the biggest increase. LinkedIn, this Pulse article has actually had the biggest drop. So a nice way to just see and start to gauge maybe what types of things are causing these to increase or decrease, and you could factor that into your own content. Now, if we look at SEMrush, they have a position tracking tool here where, similar to the other ones, we can get a lot of good data. So in this case, I have all my keywords tracked here, and I can see similar data as the other tools. I can see my rankings period over period. I can get a keyword difficulty score, see the page, search volume, all the different metrics that you're going to want to see. All of that right in here, and you can see your trends as well. But similar to those tools, you're going to need to add your own keywords here and determine which ones you want to track and monitor. So the nice thing is if you have a client and there's sort of a top 10 or top 20 or whatever the numbers are of priority keywords, these tools really come in handy because you can configure them to only track the keywords that matter. In a tool like this, you're going to get a lot of noise. You're going to get a lot of keywords that might not matter that much. So a paid tool like these ones allow you to sort of determine a shorter list of priority keywords. Now you can do a similar thing in my dashboard here. You can create a filter to only show 10 or 20 keywords here. You don't have to show everything like I'm doing in this case. So there are some ways to rig up something similar in a dashboard like this. So again, like I said, if you want a copy of this dashboard, just sign up for my newsletter. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. It's completely free. And then in the comments below, if you have any questions about paid keyword monitoring tools, whether it's one of the ones we went through today or another tool that I didn't speak about in this video, drop the comment and ask the question, and I'll get back to you with my opinion on the best way to leverage that tool.